Dàpọ̀, ṣó wàá lè sọ pé òun lè di dáàdi gómìnà tí ó bá ṣe mí?
Alhamdulillah. 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 Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Alhamdulillah Rabbil.
We'll come back to that. I forgot that once I make too much hand gesture, my screen is going to freeze like, I don't know why. I haven't figured that out yet, okay? So I'm going to keep my hand to myself as much as possible, right? The food blockade lasted for about 5 days. So they threatened people who dare try to pass. Nigeria government, Nigeria security agents and the rest of them, they looked away. So if you now have somebody's food who just bought a big trailer of vegetables, that's it. Everybody just got stuck between that border of Jeba, which is in Kwara and Loda, and every day they were calculating what those traders were losing.
Let's be poor. Breathe. Don't suffocate them. We have that responsibility.
Sorry. So they said daily they were losing over 1 billion naira. So for 5 days, they lost over 5 billion in food that was supposed to have been delivered a week ago. These terrorists, they ensured of that. Nigerian security, what have you? They looked away. So it was then that the Yeye Bello of Kogi now tried to be a mediator by saying they will make sure that their 47 billion that they want for compensation, want as compensation, Bokwari will pay them. They now made an announcement. By then, people are already like, oh, more. If by Friday, if these guys no leave road, war will happen. Oh. Down south, everybody was just living their life like normally. Those who didn't see cow meat, what have you, they resorted into using other spices for their food. You understand? Like people just moved on like it's nothing. They were expecting that food prices was just going to be like out of hand, except for Lagos. Other places, people were just like normal. They were just reading the news about, okay, yeah, food blockade. Okay, yeah, okay. They don't open the border. No, they never open them. Nobody really cared per se, except for those traders who were losing money, whose goods were being destroyed by these lunatics. They were never protected. So Bokwari can't approve 4.7 billion. People, they said they've lost 47 billion through all of this protest and other, right? Fine. Plus 5 billion they lost in a week. That's probably how much? 62 billion. Bokwari now gave them due check of 4.7 billion. That is why he's out again. Oh. Person will no get farm, will no get any business. He's not going to lose anything. He's right there now, giving 21 days ultimatum that if Numbu probably have to give them the 4.7 billion. And of course, they probably will give it to him, or he will never get a 4.7 naira. Go and block anything where you want block. People eyes don't they see shaggy already. So it's now up to you, who are real middle belters, whose food are your food are the food they are going to try to destroy. They don't grow food. Tell me how many Fulanis who have farms. How many? The Hausas who actually really have farms, and other ethnic nationalities up north who really have farms, they have become victims of Fulani terrorism. That one is another thing. Oh. Did you see that video where they are showing the bandits giving an interview? And they are also interviewing the Hausas. And the Hausas was asking for guns, that government should let them have guns. They want to face the Fulanis. And they were showing places where they have buried their own loved ones. So all of that political, peri-peri, and all of share you get, it's all expiring, you know. And it is gradual. So Middle Beltans, you have suffered enough. You see charlatans like that, jobless people like that, those who live off the system like that, they have no idea the damages they are also causing. I just want you to know that, because in northern Nigeria, where it is almost impossible to even farm anymore, Sharia North, where most of the territories are being controlled by armed terrorists, different terrorists. Farmers are paying taxes to terrorists before they can go to their farms. A lot of them, they have run out of everything, to the point that not being able to even pay the tax anymore, not being able to farm anymore, in itself, it's like they are living on borrowed time. Right now in northern Nigeria, I have never seen any of this northern group come together to make a serious demand for the change of security situation in Sharia North and the rest of Nigeria. I have never seen that. But they come around and make threats here and there. It's all the same. Because I'm a Yoruba man, I am not comfortable for a Fulani man that I don't even speak his language. I don't know the goddamn place he comes from, pointing gun at my head and the head of my own family. Or raping my own family, raping my own children, my own, in my presence. Do you actually care at all? So keep your food, if that's going to keep peace, at least. But yeah, I empathize with them. I sympathize with those who have become genuinely, unfortunately, who have become unfortunate targets of the actions and inactions, the consequences of actions and inactions of Boko Haram's government. I said, if you are a Fulani and you are watching what Boko Haram was doing, and somehow you feel good or you feel powerful, you are just stupid. Honestly. Because what Boko Haram did is to put a target behind your back, is to make the rest of the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria, to look at you and look at you with scorn, with suspicion, even when you are just living your life jejely in any place you find yourself. You have no power to influence anything, and including your own, your birth. You didn't influence to be born a Muslim or a Christian, to be born a Fulani, Yoruba, or Igbo. You did not. But there you are. Some people who are like power tripping, power drunk, blind, hateful, divisive. What do you call ethnic jingoists? They are making decisions that continually put targets on your back, not to make you feel powerful. Same thing I am saying to some of these dumbos today, the Lagos Abobakus, the bastards. That listen, in this life, injustice. If you are benefiting from injustice today, okay, you are not doing anybody but yourself. The table will turn. Things will change. Injustice that remains, the one you are benefiting from today, you will become the victim of it tomorrow, directly or indirectly. That's what injustice, that's what it is. And when you look at people who are using your race or playing their ethnic card, race card, acting so notoriously, dangerously in your name, the ideal thing for you is to publicly reject them. I'm a Yoruba man, and when I look at what these criminals stand for, right? When I see a Yoruba man who is participating in that, right, it is my duty to publicly reject them. Because as you have them, right? If you by any means associate with them, even when you have no direct, benefit, even when you do have direct benefit from them, the end goal is that in division, they will have power. And in that same divided country, you will have a target at your back, even when you are never involved in any of that. So as a Fulani today in Nigeria, except when they know that they want to benefit from you, as a Fulani in Nigeria today, other Nigerians are going to be wary of you. Why? What did you do? Because a lot of you kept quiet when Boko Haram was trying to legalize terrorism by rewarding terrorists in the name of, and instead of actually going after them for their crimes, Boko Haram and his gang, they were going after those who were talking about them. A lot of you started playing the victim card. They hate you. It's because you are a Fulani. All of you hate Fulani. And that is why all these Lagos Abobaku today are saying, what the Fulanis faced in Nigeria, they will not accept it as Yorubas. Excuse me, that you are a Lagos Abobaku, a bastard, and a Yoruba person doesn't mean you represent Yorubas. Olori buruku ló pọ̀ jù nù yín. You are not, and you will never represent or speak for the Yoruba people. Láti bo síbo, ẹ̀yin àgbèrò. Ẹ̀yin àgbèrò ajẹlójú onílé alọ́kó ló ń kígbe. You can never, because people of little value, you can never speak for the Yoruba people. You will never represent the Yoruba people. Represent your bigotry. Represent your xenophobic, what have you. Great. But you will never help put a target on the back of the Yorubas when we look at these criminals who don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about you. You know that. You don't. That's fine. Talking about when you are playing with the tiger, ladies and gentlemen, one of these days you are going to end up in its belly. You know? And I'm going to use Dino Melaye as an example. A Dino Melaye that we kind of know or refer to as Keneri Dino. He has seen the lights. All the gra-gra, all the goron-goron, all of the sing-songy, rip-rap. He's never going to lie to himself anymore. He participated in a charade. That's something they normally do. It's like a pastime thing for PDP when you talk about rigging in their own days. But what bad Dino was, canvasser like that, when it's like if I say he tried several times, right? But he knows now that Nigeria that you have as it is today, where you have all the people from all of the ethnic nationalities, including religion, is a captured state. Just take a look at it and do not, by any means, get deceived into thinking you are, in a way, offended because somebody says something about any of them. And then you suddenly feel like, oh, what you said is like an attack on Yoruba people. If you like, attack Tifnumbu, attack his family, attack everything he represents. It's not an attack on Yoruba people. That is 100% fact. So you can't say you defied because they say something about who? These rogues. If you are defending your slave masters and all of that, just say, yeah, I'm just an honorary or certified slave and I'm just defending my slave master. You're not defending Yoruba people. Because these ones don't give a damn about whatever Yorubas actually represents. Remember? So one of these days, you're going to be on the other side where the same injustice is going to be meted at you, even in like a fold that you kind of have to give up. Dino is a good example. He called a press conference, right? And they said, "Are you going to court because of what happened?" And he said, "No, I'm not going to go to court." Okay? In Nigeria, right? They usually say the court is the last hope of common man. And Dino, from the Dino's mouth, Dino's mouth. From Dino's mouth, from his mouth, I heard that Nigeria court is the lost hope of every man in Nigeria, rich or poor, common or uncommon, it doesn't matter. All of you are living in a bubble. And one by one, you see, when we said elections cannot get rid of these criminals, what is going to get rid of them then? Don't worry, you'll come around. Relax. Your court cannot save anything anymore because it's all captured. But they said we should go to court. We should please. I said, you will come around. Don't worry. They were asking Dino, what are you going to do about this, right? Now that you said you have, I said, no, I'm not going to go to any court. One of these days, majority of you are going to stop dreaming that a plastic card that has your name and your local government and polling unit, I don't know, plastic card is going to get rid of organized criminals. One day all of you are going to come around that, and all of us. Then when somebody says, brethren, you're just going to be like, he says soldiers, soldiers. He says, ahoo. You remember that? Ahoo. You're not going to ask question about, are you sure? Are you sure? From Dino's testimony, sorry guys, I want you to listen to this. Dino says he's not going to court, and this is why. And I agree with him.
Supposed to be fourth, supposed to be able to be third now, third realm of the. Thank you very much for every one of you, the print, the electronic, social media. Here, I'm here to address us once again in the course of our state history, Kogi State. And today I will be discussing what I have christened or titled, Why I Will Not Go to Tribunal. That is the heading. And the subheading is INEC and Judiciary, the biggest threat to democracy in Nigeria. INEC and Judiciary, the biggest threat to democracy in Nigeria. Fellow pressmen, in all thriving democracies around the world, the election management body like INEC and the judiciary are its sustaining pillars. The constitutional duty of INEC is to conduct periodic, free, fair, and credible elections and declare the popular will of the people as expressed through the ballot, but at moments, election results are not written and prepared before election day. Sorry, I take that again. The constitutional duty of INEC is to conduct periodic, free, fair, and credible elections and declare popular will of the people as expressed through the ballot. But at the moment, election results are now written and prepared before election day under Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. The judiciary is supposed to be the last line of defense of democracy and the rule of law. But the tragedy today is that the judiciary over the years have not lived up to the expectation fully on matters of electoral justice. Worse still, it has now been captured by APC, and it's now the weakest link for the subversion of democracy in Nigeria. What a disgrace and shame to the largest black race of the world. A democracy without the rule of law and a courageous judiciary has in it an inner virus that will lead to its destruction. The common saying that judiciary is the last hope of aggrieved citizens is now an empty slogan because the judiciary is truly now the lost hope of the people of Nigeria. That is why I, Dino Melaye, will not dignify a captured judiciary that is now a department of APC by filing a petition over Kogi State governorship elections that majority of the results were pre-written before the election day by INEC officials. Under the most corrupt chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, the most pernicious, odious vermin that ever presided over election management body in Nigeria. I repeat, Mahmoud Yakubu is the most pernicious, odious vermin that ever presided over the election management body in Nigeria, INEC. Why should any responsible Nigerian go to the tribunal when APC has captured the judiciary and their members, that's APC members, openly boast at rallies about their control of a corrupt judiciary of cash and carry? Why should other political parties and Nigerians participate in future elections with the conclusion of grip and total control of INEC through the appointment of APC card-carrying members as commissioners into INEC, who will recruit ad hoc staff, APC supporters, as pools officials? All recognized individuals of proven integrity from south and northern parts of this country, applauded by Nigerians for their commitment to credible elections as commissioners, have all been eased out of INEC. The way the so-called State Independent Electoral Commission, SIEC, is constituted by governors with party members and supporters is what is happening now. So that means what is happening in SIEC is exactly what is now happening with INEC at the national level. It's constituted by governors with party members and supporters is what is being replicated by this administration with INEC at the federal level. No more elections like local governments, but pure writing of results before elections as done in Kogi and Imo states. A typical example is what I will show you now. This is certified true copies. So when SDP was shouting all over the air that they need INEC and they need the tribunal to give them order for INEC to release documents to them, we got these documents last week. And they are certified true copies by INEC. This is the certified true copy of the Kogi State election on the 11th of November. This is certified true copies of the presidential election in February. What I want to do here is...
The more you look, the less you see. The more you look, the less you see.
Dino, we know all about that, okay? And Dino said, why should anybody go to the tribunal? When you know they have already captured the place. Why should any of you participate in future elections when you know that they've captured the INEC? Dino is asking rhetorical questions. Have you rhetorical questions? But let me help you a bit before we continue. Currently, when you see the states, they call them CX, State Independent Electoral Commission, instead of National Independent Electoral, Independent National Electoral, whatever, CX, State Independent or State Electoral Commission. When you go to those places, the ruling party in the states, for example, let's say Lagos State, APC ruling Lagos. When you go inside the INEC in Lagos, more than 80% of their ad hoc staffs, including permanent staff inside INEC in Lagos. They are card-carrying members of APC. I don't know why you probably shouldn't, you know what I mean? Those are the people who are ready to sabotage anything. Here you get. It will take a lot to overwhelm them. Nah. They would rather just cancel the whole thing and rewrite the entire thing. If you go to River State where PDP is in charge, when you look inside their INEC there, their own CEC there, you will see over 80% of their ad hoc staff, as well as their permanent staff, as members of PDP, that ruling party. And that is why when what Dino said, that at the national level, they are no longer hiding it. INEC in Nigeria is appointing APC members. I'm talking about, these are not like APC that you don't know. These are APC members that you can see at different APC campaigns as INEC commissioners. An INEC commissioner is somebody who is in charge of overall electoral matter in that state. If they make you INEC commissioner for your state, now you they in charge you. Anybody, all the election that will happen in Oyo, here you get, they will come through you. You understand? They are appointing their own APC members. And all of you now won't go get your PVC. They go soon start asking you to go and get PVC. Go and get your PVC. The next election is going to be the freest and fairest and all of that. They have already started changing the story about what happened in February. And a lot of you are beginning to even forget. You are not that angry anymore. Are you still angry? Are you? No, you are not. You are still angry, but you're not that angry anymore. Because a lot of expectations have been shattered. You have discovered the truth. All of the things they told you about Nigeria that you believed, they are beginning to come out to be lies. Even though you are angry, but it's not like that anger, Abby. I'm so sorry. Let's listen to the other part of Dino's lamentation. I just wanted to listen to it.
Tribunal judgment was written in partisan stationery. The CTC of Kano gubernatorial appeal significantly differed in the whole section from verbal judgment delivered by the Court of Appeal. The 3 paragraphs of the judgment declared to be clerical errors by the Court of Appeal, surprisingly and curiously, do not have spellings error. Does it mean that clerical error do not have meaning again? Because if you say something is a clerical error, and in the 3 paragraphs, no single spelling error, as the definition for clerical errors changed, we all know that it is easier to recite after taught judgments than to rewrite well-considered written judgments. And this is actually a big shame. You can see that Labour Party have no judgment. The Labour Party cried out yesterday that they were not given any judgment. They asked for judgment, and they said the judgment of the PDP will suffice. And it is laughable that in my elementary knowledge of law as a law student or a graduate of law, I know that grounds, when you make your grounds for submissions or issues that you raise in your submissions are questions, and we're taught in law that those questions for determination must be answered by the courts. But because the courts cannot, in their good consciences, or the judges or justices cannot, in their good consciences, answer those questions raised by Labour, that is why there's no judgment. What are the issues raised? One of those issues is how did the picture of a lady appear on the server of INEC instead of posting result sheets you posted picture. It's a question for determination. And that question has not been answered. And it is a norm, it is a practice, a convention that questions for determinations, issues raised must be answered. But because they don't want to answer it, and they know what the implication of answering it, there is no judgment for Labour Party. We all knew that Labour Party is a different party in that matter. PDP is a different party. And the court, throughout the sitting at the Supreme Court, did not consolidate the cases of PDP and Labour Party. And where these cases were not consolidated, how can they have the same judgment? That is one of the fundamental reasons why I would say I have lost complete confidence in the judiciary in Nigeria. In sum, we can say that our country and democracy is at its most vulnerable point of decay as a result of institutional capture. Today, nowhere to turn to by citizens for sanity. Judiciary has become an extended section of a political party, doing its bidding and delivering predetermined judgments. The fingers of providence will continue to write its verdict on the walls of our judiciary as the biggest threat to the survival of democracy in Nigeria. We are at terrible situations that led St. Augustine to declare that a country is nothing but a band of rogues without the rule of law. The judiciary has lent itself to APC capture, and it has become the instrument of partisanship. INEC and judiciary in particular have betrayed Nigerians and dashed their hopes and aspirations of democratic ideals through judicial sabotage. We can all now see what the scholar Montesquieu meant when he warned that there is no greater tyranny than a tyranny that is perpetrated under the shield of the law in the name of justice. Conclusion. Fellow Nigerians and gentlemen of the press, in the light of the foregoing, I, Senator Dino Melaye, have decided in good conscience not to submit myself to the judiciary that has become an instrument of political tyranny. Just as Pa Awolowo declared after the 1993 rigged elections, when asked why he refused to go to the tribunal, our sage, Obafemi Awolowo, said that he will not because the judiciary is corrupt and will not do justice. I will not go to court because justice has been murdered by the judiciary in Nigeria. I repeat, I will not go to court because justice has been murdered by the judiciary in Nigeria. Finally, may I use the opportunity to call on all opposition parties in Nigeria to forthwith boycott all future elections unless and until the current INEC constituted by APC members is dissolved and a new set of non-partisan chairmen and commissioners are appointed into INEC. Further participation by opposition parties in future pre-written election results. Further participation by opposition parties in future pre-written election results under a morally and ethically challenged Professor Mahmood Yakubu Electoral Commission amounts to giving legitimacy and credence to the continued rape of democracy in Nigeria. I hereby call on all political parties to boycott future elections in this country until Mahmood Yakubu and the corrupt commissioners of INEC are completely dissolved and a new credible INEC constituted. That is when we can have democracy. If we fail to do that, participation by political parties will mean legitimizing, endorsing, and promoting the illegality that is ongoing. So I call on all political parties to boycott future elections and allow them to run a one-party state, because our non-participation will definitely deny them the legitimacy they need to carry on. So we call on the
Continue. 70 years old man. Child. Is that you? Jesus is Lord. Jesus. Woman, is that you? Continue. 70 years old man. Child. Is that you? Jesus is Lord. The more you look, the less you see.
The more you look, the less you see. Dino don't see the sign. And the sign is that all of una go think say you are participating in order to make it better. Meanwhile, you are just enabling and they are taking you. You know, so they carry, they go where you don't know. They know they carry me, they go, they carry me, they go. You see? That's what we handle. You have no idea if you think you have a standing or a fighting chance with these rogues. You don't. All my break in Nigeria up last. Despite the fact that the last 6 months has been one of the most harrowing months for a lot of people, especially economically in Nigeria. And we started seeing those who started saying, Ashiwaju, don't let them do don't let them share also. People are laughing at us now. We are the one who fight and stood for you. Ashiwaju, Baba, you need to do something. This country is very hard, though. Please help us so we know they're hungry. Oh. And you started seeing them and you're like, oh, so you be bastard. They say, yes, I'm a bastard. Okay, you be bad. Shize. Now put on ourselves this one. You know, some of us were saying that those who were crying, saying, we voted for you. This is not what you promised us. If we know that this is what you are going to do to us, we will never have it. And we said, if you put another election, if you organize another election for tomorrow, you see the same people who are crying that they voted for Tifnumbu and they are now like sad and all of that, and they are telling them to calm down, to relax and wait, give them time. Those people will do it again. And that's when we advised ourselves that don't let them use emotional blackmail to pick your pocket too. No go they do Mr. Nice. If you are that nice that you are looking for somebody to help, our advice is just go into your WhatsApp. You go see that your cousin, that one that you've not responded to for a while. A family member may kind of make use of that money. Try it. Sure, you get, instead of seeing somebody who is crying on social media because they cannot feed themselves because they voted for APC, but they didn't know. They do know. You know, say Bajabi Amole is now the chief of staff. I think I've said something like that before too, right? That you see those people who were displaced by the terrorism in northern Nigeria, that we're seeing all of them, women, children running away from the attacks and all of that. You remember those days, and we did say, as they are running away, if you put ballot box on the roadside and you put the picture of Bokwari on one and put the picture of somebody else on another one, as they are running away from the terrorists, they go still ask for ballot paper, make them vote for Bokwari. That's the same thing with some of these people, but this one is different. So I wanted to deal with the voice. It happened in Lagos. Bajabi Amole is the chief of staff to Tifnumbu, and he is also the representative of a Surulere federal constituency. So he's already resigned as a lawmaker, and that seat is vacant. There is an election a by-election into Bajabi Amole's seat And some people still trying to go out there to say maybe people can't vote for them, maybe, But there you have some people too. Okay, they are thugs anyway, yeah. Well, I think this one should bring back the memory of, at least for some of you who are beginning to forget what happened in February and before then. This one happened just last night. As opposition are trying to hang a banner of a candidate right there, right? And this guy showed face. I'm sorry, they didn't speak much of English, but it's mostly, hey. But I just want you to please pay attention to the scene. That people are still there. The thugs are still very much willing to do exactly what they did that brought this calamity on a lot of you, that they are telling you to hang on and be patient today. There are those who will do it again and again and again. I have told a lot of you that the moment INEC announced Tinubu as your winner, the moment you allowed them to announce him winner, the moment you allowed him to be sworn in as president, now only Asarailu can save you in the hand of Kolu. Without that, even when you're 8 years, when 88 years come, around that time, all of Nago don't change. See how many of you have changed today. Many things you never believe you can keep quiet and look away from. Today, now you be the expert now. Mind your business, Mayegu. They have kidnapped 14 people. They have killed 100 people in Borono. Mind your business, Mayegu. What's your business there? Are you from Borono? 8 years ago, you will see grown-up men and women crying because they just found out that they killed somebody somewhere. Today, breaking news. This will not even get news again. Which one be breaking news again? Breaking news. They kidnapped 300 people. And they also killed 200 soldiers. So this will not even get news again. She said, this one are news. See, Baba, they said they kidnapped 400 people and they killed 200 soldiers. That will not be news. Well, Baba, now today that they killed, they give us news. Instead of they give us good news. I said, Baba, that will not be news. 8 years ago, people bought the propaganda of the Chibok girls. In that same Nigeria, you heard the Kankara, and the Shokoto kidnap, Kaduna kidnap, different school kidnapping. Since then, the same people who were like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh, the girls, God knows what they are doing to the girls. And all of 8-9 years ago, today, tell them say they don't kidnap a whole village. They will just flip the paper. Davido Chioma. Oh my God, Davido Chioma. Oh, Davido, the whiskey. Or other things that they will just be like, by the time Tinubu is done with you in 8 years, Unago don't change. To change your oh my show. The damages that Boko Haram did to Nigeria. Baba, that people finally got sort of they adjusted. They got used to it. Abi, you don't know that that's what happened. Who would have believed it in their widest imagination that you are going to change Nigeria naira to dollar? I mean, dollar to naira. Baba, for 1,200 naira. We dey talk am, but we no mean am. We dey believe someone if it happen. Like, yeah, how can that happen? But until we started seeing the sign that there's possibility, 100%. How many of you believe that all the things that people have taken in today with no reaction, they will take them in 10 years ago? How many of you? You tell me, conform me.